How big a thing is this for everyone to do this weekend?
Yeah, it's huge, you know. We've come through the COVID-19 scenario. We're at the back end of it now. It's been tough for everyone. Everyone associated with the football club's been difficult, but we always had that idea that we'd get back to playing.
What's it been like from your side of it at the training ground? Obviously, there's no way us guys are going to get anywhere near the training ground for a long time now. What's it been like for you and the players and the coaching staff actually doing all the medical protocols and training at the same time?
At the start, it was difficult, but now it's the new norm. We're very accustomed to it now. We get tested twice a week. We know the protocols. So at the minute, we're all getting on with it, and it's quite easy, to be honest, at the minute.
Obviously, you're coming back to a league season. It's a continuation of it, and it's very important, the games that you've got left to come. But is it difficult to feel like it's a continuation when it is so unusual?
It's a 9-game season. That's how we're taking it. We've been out of action for 3 months, so it's a 9-game season. Okay, you have the same players, but the players will have different mentalities and different positions in the league, but it is a 9-game season now. So hopefully you've got to start quick.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the league table and obviously that's always been there in the background. Is it difficult to sort of factor that in when you're thinking about so many other things as well, that every game that you're going to play now is important?
Every game's important. That's against Swansea on Saturday. That's the biggest game for us at the minute, and that's what we're concentrating on.
Obviously, there's been so many difficult things for everybody to cope with. A number of clubs have had situations with players going out of contract. You've possibly got one with Danny Ayala. How has that situation sort of manifested itself within and trying to get things going?
Danny hasn't been a problem. He hasn't been a hindrance or anything like that. We offered Danny a contract in November, October time, and he didn't want to sign it. I've got no problem with that at all. Danny's been injured now for, I'd say, bearing on 6 months. He trained with the team the first few days when we were social distancing, and then he trained one session with the team and his ankle got sore. Danny said to me that he would be available to play in June, but he wouldn't play in July. And that is the whole truth of the matter, to be honest with you.
And kind of on a human level as well as a football level, can you understand his attitude to it?
Different players make different decisions. I can't speak for them. They've all got different things that they're thinking about. So whatever decision they make, I respect the decision.
The whole behind closed doors experience, it's kind of difficult to get your head round, and the players as well. How do you think people will react to it?
Well, they've got to react well at the end of the day. We play pre-season friendlies at times behind closed doors, so it's nothing different to that. We've had in-house games where there's no fans there. Listen, it will be difficult, but we'll have to live with it. It's what it is. It is what it is now.
Did you watch any of the football in the Premier League last night? And if so, what did you think of it?
I watched both games. I thought the intensity was a lot less than it has been, maybe because of the fan situation, maybe because of the fitness of the players. You've got to think that they've had 4 weeks to prepare, but being off for 3 months is totally different. Like I say, you can do all the straight line running you want to do, but when you've got a ball at your feet, it's a totally different ball game. So players will lack fitness. Arsenal looked like they picked up 2 injuries as well last night, and I think you will see that throughout the Championship as well and Premier League moving forward. Players will get injured a lot more.
Final point for me, then I'll let Dawn pick up. Seems almost odd to ask a normal football question, but what do you expect from Swansea?
Well, we've watched a lot of the previous games, but they have got some really, really talented players. You know, in Conor Gallagher, Ayew, and Brewster, and Grimes in centre midfield. They're a good young squad, and they've had a good season. They've done well. They're pushing for promotion. 3 points off the playoffs at the minute, so we need to be on top form.
Thanks, Jonathan. Dawn?
Thanks, Simon. Jonathan, just to clarify, so Daniel Ayala said he would be available till the end of June. So is he going to be factored into your plans for the end of June, or not at all?
He's not fit enough to be involved. He still has pain in his ankle, but this pain's been there for since January time now. Since when he first did it against Preston. He's tried to come back, but he's only trained once fully with the group. When we're social distancing, he trained the days, but then when he got on with the group, then he didn't train.
So that's his Boro career over then.
Well, he's not fit enough to play June, and he's not going to play July. That's the honest truth.
How much of a miss will he be then?
Danny's a good footballer. Danny's a really good footballer. We will miss him, but I've got other players to step into that mark. Harold, McCudie, Ryan Shotton and Dale Fry.
How difficult was it, or not, to get those other players to manage to sign those contract extensions to the end of July?
Well, hopefully we'll go with a fully fit squad from the first game. Listen, like I said, with Danny, they've all got different agendas and different things they want to do, and you know, some players might have already spoke to other clubs about signing for their teams. You don't know all the situations, but hopefully we'll go into the game on Monday with a fully fit squad. Hopefully.
Obviously, you mentioned injuries in the games last night, and that must be a huge concern, because if you've got a fully fit squad now, it'd be nice to think you could keep it fully fit for the next 9 games, but that's a lot of pressure to put on bodies that haven't, you know, played matches for 3 months.
Yeah, I agree with you, Don. I agree with exactly what you're saying. There is a lot of pressure on the players to perform, so we'll have to see it daily and weekly how the players perform in the games and what the bodies are feeling like. The last thing you need is in a game is you get a couple of injuries early on or 3 games in. So you have to take every day as it comes, really, with the injuries and how people are performing.
And the extra substitutions will help, presumably.
Well, you'd like to think so, with how quick we've come back. So that'll be a benefit.
You mentioned it was a 9-game season. It is effectively like a tournament, isn't it? Now you've got to get into that almost cup frame of mind.
You need to start quick. That's the biggest thing. You need to start quick in these games, because a lot of players, as the games go on and the minute goes on, players will get tired. So you need to start quick, and that's what we'll be aiming to do.
Obviously, you are happy to be back playing, but was there at any point in this where you thought, well, at least if the season does end now, you know we're going to be in the Championship next season, rather than now having to kind of resume and go back into a relegation battle?
I always wanted the season to finish. That is one thing I always said to Steve and Neil. Make sure you get this season finished. We want to finish it. We want to get all the games in and stay up the right way. We didn't want the weighted point system or whatever it was going to be. We wanted to do it the right way. The integrity of the league comes first and foremost for me.
And what's the morale of the players like? Presumably they just can't wait to get on the pitch, can they?
Well, they couldn't wait to get back in the first few days, but we were at a social distance, so they had to remain apart for about 10 days, I'd say. No doubt they'll be looking forward to the first game. Footballers love playing football, and they'll be no different. Just bring it on the first game.
And obviously, you know, they're so used to being together as a team. How difficult has it been to implement all those social distancing measures? Because obviously once they're on the field playing, they can't do it. And it must be quite difficult in training to do that as well.
Well, in training, we don't have to social distance, do we?
Not now.
Not now. We don't have to social distance, so the lads are rattling at the tackles left, right and centre. It's only when we're away from the field that we have to social distance. So Saturday will be no different. Like I say, we've had a lot of protocols to deal with, a lot of things in training, but that's been fine. That's been no problem at all.
And obviously you've been doing lots of testing. Have you picked up that the players are a bit nervous about the whole health situation or not?
I'd say maybe at first they're a bit anxious, but at the minute, absolutely no problems at all getting on with it. I think now we've done about maybe 8 to 10 tests now. So it's, like I say, it's normality for us now.
And for you, what are you kind of looking forward to most of all?
Not playing the remainder of the games and staying in the league. That's the biggest thing for us now. We have to stay in the league.
And what would you say to the fans who can't wait to see you in action either? I mean, they're going to have streaming services with pig bag and crowd noise and all sorts. So they're going to get a slightly different experience from the one that you're going to have, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely, totally different. In a perfect world, the fans would be at the Riverside with us, and that's what we wanted from the start. But government law said we can't do that. So they'll have to watch it online, a streaming service. I'm sure that a few houses will be going crazy on Saturday, and hopefully we get the win for them.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Jonathan, could I just ask one more? Sorry. I just wondered about you personally. How's it been in terms of, I imagine you had to do a bit of homeschooling. What was it like for you in lockdown, that kind of thing?
Well, you have to stay with a routine, and that's what I try to do with my kids and the wife. But it was unreal to spend some good quality time with my kids. And am I going to get 2 or 3 months with my kids at that point, day in, day out, having breakfast, lunch and tea with them? You know, it was just something that I enjoyed. We had them in the gym doing different sessions, running sessions, going for walks when you can, when you had the hours break, and cooking classes, homeschooling, which wasn't easy. Them teachers deserve a medal, to be honest with you, what they put up with the kids. But I want to get back to football as soon as possible. But you make a negative into a positive and you get on with it.